Hello, everybody. Welcome again to Mind Your Business. And today, my special guest is Jessica Ballard. She is from Texas and she was raised in Louisiana. She has an associate's degree in management from Louisiana State University at Eunice and attended Southern University and A&M College in Baton Rouge to study nursing. She is a single mother of two beautiful children, one of which has special needs. Jessica recently transformed herself into an entrepreneur when she founded Micha Speaks Kids Camp, a nonprofit organization dedicated to children with learning disabilities like her son Micha. Jessica recently added the title of author to her name when she wrote a book titled Passport to 30 Days of Faith, Love, and Romance, which was published October 1st, available on Amazon.com. I'm really excited about having Jessica here today because Jessica is one of my previous clients. She worked with me in the past. It's probably been about 5 years ago. And so it really hits a heartstring to be seeing all the great things that she's done and all the accomplishments that she's had over these last 5 years. And so I'm just excited to welcome her today. So please join in, watch, ask questions, and learn something from this beautiful young lady. And now I'm going to bring her on without any further ado. Welcome, Miss Jessica. Hi, Jessica. Unmute your mic. Your mic is muted. Okay, let's see. Hi. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I am good. It is so good to see you. You're looking good. How old are the babies now?
9 and 5.
Wow, time really, really flies. So, Jessica, I introduced you, but I believe that no one can tell your story better than you. So, if you would go ahead and let everybody know who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
Well, my name is Jessica Ballard. I'm a full-time. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an author. And I do what I do because it's a passion of mine. I feel like I was led in my spirit to do so. And so here I am.
Yay. All right. So tell me how your journey began. How'd you get started on this journey?
I got started when my son, I seen that he started to struggle with doing speech, with talking, with some of his motor skills were a little off. So I started trying to figure out different ways of how to get him help, to see who can help him, and where can I, bring him to get more education, get more help, and things of that nature. So when he started speech at the age of 2, I was starting to see a little progress with him, but to me, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough speech. It wasn't enough occupational therapy. When he finally went to school and everything, so ended up starting a whole nonprofit organization to cater to children and parents that have an issue where their kids are getting services but not enough services. So we just kind of bridge the little gap right there. Like when school is in, if you feel like your child needs a little bit of services, they can go to Speaks Kid Camp. When school is out of session for the summer and they're not getting any services, that's where we bridge that gap again. We're here to keep them on the track until school starts back. So that's what made me start that and start doing that.
Wow, that's awesome. So tell us a little bit about what you had to do to get that started. Like, was it hard? What resources did you have?
In order to get it started, it wasn't much besides just filling out all the paperwork, making sure everything is good legally. But after that, I started reaching out to a few friends of mine that knew Micha, number one, that believed in my cause and what I'm trying to achieve, the mission that I'm on to achieve this goal. And so I I reached out to a few of them. They became board members, and they're writing with me, and they're doing everything that they need to do. And so those were my first people to really join in to try to help with the kid camp. And then after that, I started reaching out to do like a few donations and everything. But then COVID-19, so we kind of put everything on pause because there wasn't much information about COVID, and we didn't want anyone to get sick, you know. So this is like back in April. So we missed the whole summer. And now school is in, and we're doing a little tutoring, virtual tutoring though, but it's not gonna need the speech and occupational therapy like in person right now. I think I will open for business for the summer of next year. Hopefully it will be a lot more under control than what it is right now, and everyone won't be so scared, you know. But until then, we're just virtual. Just virtual.
So what kind of programming do you have, and how many children do you normally cater to?
Right now, we only have a handful of children. I just started, so the advertising has mainly just been on social media platforms and on my website. But besides that, it's only just a handful of children that need the tutoring. I do have a wonderful occupational therapist that I partnered with, and we do a few little collaborations here and there. That's been in the works, but it's nothing like super huge yet.
Okay, you're freezing up a little bit on your side. Can you hear me pretty good?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, because you kind of keep going in and out. I can hear you pretty good, but your camera kind of keeps freezing.
Is it still freezing?
Yeah, it goes in and out. Hang on. But okay, so as long as you can hear me pretty good, then we won't worry about it. I think that's fine because I can hear you, but it kind of freezes and then it stops. And so I just want to make sure that you're able to get your story told and that people can hear and understand what you're saying because it's very beautiful. Tell me how that's had an effect on you as a single mom.
As a single mom, it affects me only because I see that number one, my son he's blossoming. I think it's a wonderful thing. It helps the kids to kind of interact a little bit, like a little bit. They'll see like a kid on here that's down, like doing the tutoring for, and they'll be like, "Hi," but you know, other than that, it's lovely. I mean, I feel like as a single mom, I can do anything regardless of
Amen.
my situation.
So other than Micha, because Micha is the one we're talking about, correct? Is he 9 or he's 9 now?
He's 9, yes.
Okay. And I remember when I met you, Micha was little and your baby was little and now they've grown up. And I mean, I just the transformation and just to see where you are and the wonderful woman that you've become. I mean, it's like a butterfly that's just blossomed and I'm just so very proud of you. Along the way, like, is that the only thing that you've done over these last 5 years is put this together? Or tell us a little bit about the other things that has led up to you coming into this non-for-profit. Did you like research it or just like what else have you done along the way to get to this point?
Well, I have done quite a bit of research. The research actually started back when I met you, actually. I started doing the research and then it like just went on pause for a few years because I wanted to see like how the help was going to come along with school and everything for him. And then I was able to start the nonprofit once I finished the whole divorce. I had to get a divorce. So once my divorce was actually finalized, I went ahead and registered the nonprofit and started advocating for not just my son, but for all the other kids too.
Yeah. You mentioned that you got a divorce. A lot of times when people are going through things, sometimes it makes them go the opposite direction, but instead it made you move forward and it made you step up and say, hey, there's something that I've got to do to make a change in my child's life and for my life. And so I commend you for that. And so, did you go to college before all of this? Did you have a degree or anything in background in nonprofits or anything?
No, not at all. I went to college when I graduated. I graduated in 2008 from LSUE, and that's with the hospitality management. And then in 2018 is when I went to Southern.
Okay.
So no time during the marriage was I in college.
Okay. And see, that just goes to show that, life does not just end at one place. When one chapter ends, you can continue on. And so, making that segue, I didn't even know what I was doing there, but I guess I did. One chapter ended and you started a new chapter. So, tell us about this book that you've written.
Okay. So, I have a book. I have ties right quick. It's called Passport to 30 Days of Faith, Love, and Romance, a couple's guide to a better relationship experience. The book won't have the little gray strip right here. This is my proof. This is like a proof copy. But basically the book is for couples, whether you're in a long-term relationship or married or what have you. It's mainly for couples to really just bring back the spark into their relationship. So, and also to bring back communication, because we get real busy with work, with the children, running errands, whatever they do, and some couples just really don't get the time to spend. By the time one get home, they did everything in the house and they're sleeping, and so are the kids, and the other person's getting home and it's dark. They got to eat by themselves, So this is going to bring back family. This is going to bring back love, relationships, support, not financial support, but emotional, physical, just everything. So that's the type of book that I wrote, and it's tested, tried, and true. It works for me.
So how did you come up with the title?
I came up with my title because I was sitting down one day and I was thinking, I was like, how can I help people, but help them to connect with God first? Because without God in your relationship, there is no relationship. How can I help them connect with God? How can I make people love and support each other again? And how can I help people bring back romance? Because some people may feel like romance is dead in their relationship, they're just together because they've been together for 20 years, So I was like, how can I do this? And so I was like, I can take them journey. I was gonna name it Journey to 30 Days, and I was like, this is more like you need a passport, because it's like you're going to a whole different country. So that's why I did it with Passport to 30 Days of Faith, Love, and Romance, because you gotta have faith in your relationships. You gotta have love, definitely, but also romance too, because that helps to keep everything else alive as well.
It's funny that you say that, because I remember when I was working with you, those are some of the things that we worked on.
Yes. Yes.
So the fact that you were able to implement that, that's awesome, because it does work. And everything starts with faith, and you have to have a foundation. And so it starts off and you pray for your spouse, and you pray for your relationship, and you pray for that oneness. And so I guess because a lot of people might ask that you're divorced now, right? And so by you being divorced, how do you think that this book helps you in a relationship, like letting go of that one and then moving on to maybe being in another relationship? Are you in a new relationship by any chance? And if so, does the book help? Or is that where you learned some of that from?
I am in a relationship. No one knows that, but now the world does. I am in a relationship. I've been in a relationship. Um, and those three components were the three components that were not there previously in my marriage, in other relationships. It was always missing at least two of them or one of them, you know? So that I was able to think back, you know, just really take a step back, think back, reflect, and see those are the three components that will definitely help a relationship to stand, number one, and then grow together, number two. So as long as we can get couples in the relationship to understand that, take turns talking. Don't yap at each other while each other's talking. Stop, listen, let talk. When they're done, you talk. But don't sit there while they're talking, thinking about your rebuttal. Actually listen. You know, so that's what this is for. I never had that in none of my relationships. We were yapping. We were yapping. We were at it. It was horrible. But once you learn skill of communication, and even in my book, I say, take turns letting your partner speak. You know, you say how you feel about this subject or topic, and then let them say how they feel. Like, what is love to you? That's one of the topics. What is love? Let your partner say what they think it is first. Then your turn. Now, if there's similarities, put them together, talk about it, and then blossom that. You know, so that's how I really got this all together. I really had to do some reflection though, because I was like, what's going on here? Yes.
So when the book idea came to you, I mean, because I know a lot of times people journal or they might make notes or doodle, but how did you know that you were going to turn this into a book?
Didn't know. It just came to me. I was praying. I was praying at night like I normally do. I was in my room just by myself. It was late, and I'm up till like about 3 a.m. sometimes. And you know, I was just sitting there, and I was just praying. And I keep a notebook and pen. I have like a bench at the bottom of my bed, so I keep a notebook and pen on my bench. And it's like in my spirit just started talking. Write this down. So I'm just writing. I'm just steady writing. And as I'm writing, that's all 30 topics I'm writing. For each day, it was all 30 topics. And that was all the stuff that was within me. Number one, that I needed to work on my past relationships. And it's stuff that I can continue to work on in my new relationship. And once I looked at it, I was like, 30 days. Okay. I can do this. And so that's how I got the topics. And it just was flowing. It was just flowing. And I couldn't stop writing.
Now, have you always been a writer?
Yes. Yes. It got better with time. I used to write short stories. Back when I was a kid, I used to write these really short stories. And then when I got to high school, is when I learned all the grammar and how to write correctly, do essays correctly. And then college, I was just a beast. A plus. A plus with English. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Verna Ballard says that you are doing great, and she claims that you got your writing from her. So we'll give Verna the credit on that one. Thanks, Verna.
Now she's a beast when it comes to education. Oh, she was strict. You know, she made sure that we did our homework. She made sure that we studied. When I say we, my sister, my brother made it through as well. But me and my sister, she definitely, Yeah, we was going to graduate. We was going to graduate. We were not going to talk in improper language. We were going to enunciate words. Yeah, out here is a different type of a culture. It's a different vibe. All the people have like this country Cajun Creole type of accent out here. And my mom was like, "You're not about to talk like that. You're going to speak right." So yeah,
Yeah.
I've always been made fun of for speaking proper.
Yeah, you
Didn't
don't
have
have an
to this way.
accent. No,
Now,
you don't.
if I'm talking to like some of my friends, it kind of comes out a bit, but for the most part, I'm like this.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you've always been a sweet person. I mean, you just are. So what kind of other than your mother, because I know she was a foundation in your life, but what other resources as far as mentors or training or coaches or anyone that you had that kind of guided you or shaped you along the way?
Well, besides my mom, you and my like I just kind of went like no joke, I just kind of went through everything that I had to go through, and then when I was just at my lowest, at wit's end, I started crying a lot, and I was like, I need some help, someone to talk to as well, and vent, and scroll through, and God said, "Her," and I found you, reached out to you, and you helped me tremendously,
Well,
tremendously.
you know what? The funny thing is, I didn't help you. You know that, right? You know I didn't help you. You already know what you needed. It was already inside of you. And with the power of God, we prayed a lot. We talked about
Yes,
God and we focused on ourselves first, right? And so, truthfully, all I did was just tell you what you already knew. It was already there. It was already inside of you. You were already the person that you were going to be. You just hadn't got there yet. And I knew that. And that's what I liked about you because you listened and you knew what it was. You just needed to be able to put it together. And sometimes we do have to reach outside of ourselves to be able to get back to our center core. And so, again, Jessica, when I looked on LinkedIn, because I hadn't been on LinkedIn. I've been on LinkedIn for 6 years, but I don't even usually use it. And it's so funny because when God gave me this platform, I was just like, okay, God, what are you doing? Why are you giving me this platform? And I just always believed in divine connection. So when I came on LinkedIn and you are the first person that I see, and I was like, oh my God, I just started screaming. And I told my husband, I was like, you are not going to believe this. I was like, there's a young lady that I used to coach. And I'm like, she is doing wonderful things. And I said, this right here is why people need coaches. This is why people need mentors. This is why people need other people in their life. We need support. We need somebody
right,
sometimes to come alongside of us and say, go, girlfriend, I got you. I support you. And so, and we didn't even know each other. And it wasn't even neither here nor there. It was just the fact of I believed in you. You believed in yourself and you wanted something better. And that's look at you. And so I don't care what anybody in this world says that whatever they're going through, because it's tough sometimes. Sometimes you are
yes,
down, like really low down, and you feel like there's no way up. But I'm telling you that if you believe in yourself enough to want to invest in yourself, and that's what you did, you started investing in yourself. And sometimes you have to crawl before you walk. And sometimes, you have to catch the bus before you drive. And then sometimes you might have to sleep on the couch somewhere before you get your own house. But you do those things and you never give up. And now you're an author. I'm just like, that's awesome. I mean, that's so inspirational to me because I know your backstory and it's your story. And so this book that you wrote, girl, that's just the prelude to a kiss because you've got some stories to tell. You've got some testimonies. And I know what you're doing with Micah is going to be phenomenal. I mean, and not only just with Micah, it's going to open the door for other children to be able to get the help that they need. And sometimes we don't understand how real something is until it affects us. And
right.
God will trust you with certain things. And look at what he's doing in your life. And so, I mean, Where do you see yourself going from here? What's your next step?
I have some other things that I want to do. Since I started my whole entrepreneurship, I have another business that I am currently working on. It'll be out next year. And that's a big one. That's it's big. It's exciting. I've been having so many meetings on Zoom, just back and forth with a whole lot of different people, but next year is definitely going to be a word. I don't want to give it away yet because I always do. I move in silence. Nobody ever knows until I post it on Facebook or something, and they're like, "Oh, okay." But yes, I do have. I have another business that's a really big one that I'm working on, and I have some really great people in my corner with this one, and I'll let you all know in a few more months.
All right. So after the first of the year, we can be looking forward to that, or before the first of the year?
Maybe after March, because
Okay.
it's a process. It's really big, but it's definitely time consuming in a process.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I believe in you, and I know whatever you put your mind to, you can make it happen. And so, what is what is some advice that you could give someone that is in a situation that maybe wants to do something but doesn't know, what step to take first? What would you give them as advice?
First thing I would say is pray on it first. Always pray on it first. Don't ever just start doing something and investing your money in something and you never prayed about it. Because you don't want to lose money on something that's failed because you didn't pray about it. If God tell you not to do it, don't do it. I got married and God told me don't marry this one. This isn't the one. I did it. Went through the struggle. So he gonna bring you through it in order to bring you to where you need to be if you choose your own stuff. But at the end of the day, pray about it. Pray about it first. Then secondly, research. A lot of research. Don't tell all kind of people what you're doing. And I say don't tell because there's naysayers. There's the devil that's going to whisper in people's ears and use people to be like, she don't know nothing about, she can't do it. She's a single mom, or she's black. She's got natural hair. She's not going to make it. Nobody's going to listen. You don't want that. Move in silence first. And then just bust out with it later and let everybody just say what they have to say after that and be like, I did it anyway. It's done. So that's what, and then if you know that you have naysayers already before you even come out with anything, those that you already know are naysayers, block immediately.
It's funny. Your mom is cracking me up over here. She said, I didn't even know nothing. And and it's so funny. But see, she did know something. She knew she had you. Because she even said you always what you wanted. And so, it's beautiful when you have mothers and praying mothers in your life that can speak life into you and that can encourage you, because for our children, we don't always know what they're doing. Our mothers don't always know what we're doing. They don't have a clue. But then when you come out and you do something like this, the mom steps back and be like, I did that. Because
right.
She is just her baby. And so this is a blessing for her. And the thing is, people say, don't wait until someone passes away to bring them their flowers. And I believe as a child, gratitude is the most important thing that you can have. And so, the first thing that you did when you got on here, you talked about your mom and how she was an educator and how education was very important. And then I know when you and I talked before in the past, you talked about God and how she always wanted the God to be the center of your life. And like you made decisions sometimes that she didn't always maybe agree with. But that didn't stop her from being your mom. That didn't stop her from loving you. Can you, for just a minute, talk to me about your relationship with your mom and how that has molded and shaped you into the woman you are now?
Well, growing up, we were raised in the church. So every Sunday we was there, every Bible study we was there. Back in the day, they had YPWW for the women. We was there. Children's church, Sunday school, we was there. Sunshine Band, which is the children's choir, rehearsals and everything. We were there. So we were raised in the church. My mom, she wore the long skirts and, you know, she covered up, that's how we was raised. And military. My mom's military. My stepdad, may he rest in peace, he was military. And also my father, he's military. So we was just military brats. They did move around a lot. All three of us, me and my siblings, we were all born in different states and stuff like that. So they did some traveling and thing. But once my mom settled down with us as a single mom, church. It was just church. Mm-hmm. And she was strong too. She worked. She did housekeeping and cleaned up a lot for all her jobs. It was mainly like housekeeping. And she made sure everything was done for us, kept us nice, neat, and clean. But she made sure that we went to church. And just being in church, she made sure that we knew who Jesus was,
Amen.
And I mean, as I grew into a young lady in my little teenage years, we start kind of, teenagers and then their mothers. We didn't see eye to eye for some years. And even as an adult, I appreciate it because I don't think I would have ever had God with me as deep as I had it with me from a child all the way to now. I think I would have been a little lost, but I still would have found him eventually. But that was my introduction as a kid. And as an adult, we still don't always see eye to eye, but we love each other. Absolutely. She's more supportive of me now. And even though we might butt heads a little bit, but it's all right.
Yeah. And that's just how it goes. I mean, it is. And it's about the relationship, and that. But I mean, it's about foundation and having that structure. And sometimes we reject things that are good for us until we learn better. And so that just shows maturity and growth and what more you can do. And so I'm grateful to be able to know you, to have heard your story, and to know the wonderful mom that you've got that laid the foundation. Because a lot of times, and one thing you said, you traveled a lot. Well, that right there gives you culture. And so people that haven't ever been anywhere don't know a whole lot of things except from where they're from. But you've been able to travel. You've been able to see different things. You've been able to see a mother and father together. You've been able to see a single mother. So you've seen all aspects of life in different situations. And that did not stop you from accomplishing your goal, because, I really believe that we are all born with a purpose and that we are created to do great things on this earth. And we all have an innate ability inside of us that God gives us that power to do. But sometimes we miss that. And sometimes we have circumstances that come up and we fall short of what we're supposed to be doing because we don't have that spirit inside of us that we can hone into to say, hey, I need to keep going. And you did. And so I know, because of your faith and because of your mom and because of your upbringing and your background, that's what's kept you going. But at times it got tough, I'm sure. What did you do in those situations? How did you continue to get yourself back up and keep on moving?
In my darkest moments, a little bit before I reached out to you, I went through the struggle. When I actually decided to separate from my ex-husband, I ended up having to go and live in a women's shelter. I was big and pregnant with my daughter. My son was just 2. He was like about 2 years old. So I stayed in a women's shelter for like about 3 or 4 months. And I remember just being in church a lot. Like I joined a Philadelphia Christian church out here in Lafayette, Louisiana. And I remember just going every Sunday, every Tuesday for Bible study, and just staying prayed up, just listening to my pastor, and just trying to keep a positive mindset because I was big, I was emotional and pregnant. I didn't know which way to turn, and I'm living in this shelter, and it's just like this is so different for me. You know, I never thought that I would ever have to be in that type of a situation, but I was. So when I finally got out of this shelter and I got my own place, they helped me to get my apartment and everything. And I was by myself and I had a new start, but I still was lost. I was still emotionally distraught because I was going through the different stages of divorce. I'm in and out of court and we're arguing, we're fussing, we're not getting along, you know. So that's what made me reach out to you because I felt like, gosh, I was losing it. I need someone to help me with some type of guidance. And so through prayer and strength and all that, mainly prayer, you and I both, we did some praying. And I remember crying. Just that's how I made it through because I knew I could talk to my friends all day about the situations that I was going through. But spiritually, I don't feel like my friends are as connected yet, you know. And same thing, like I could have talked to family about it, but it's like maybe it was just a bit much for them as well. So I just needed someone that didn't know me at all to really just talk to and everything. So that's what made me reach out and helped me to get through it. So
Yeah. And sometimes, I really feel like God knows what he's doing and he knows what you need and when you need it. And so when you arrived at that point in time, I saw in you, and we've got similar stories. They're different but similar. But at the same time, I get you and I understand that. And so I know that you're going to go on and do great things. And so are you coaching now? Are you coaching other women now? Are you spreading that joy and that love and that light to other women, or how are you helping others in this capacity?
I only help like my friends if they want to talk to me about their personal things or battles that they're going through. I can talk to them and let them know, you know, my situations or what I would do in that situation. But as far as like a group of women or anything like that, no, I haven't got into that. Not yet, at least.
Yeah. Well, hey, you never know, because I mean, your story is really one that is good to be shared with other women that have went through your situation or going through your situation or might find themselves in your situation, that trouble doesn't last always and that you can do anything.
Right.
And I mean, I'm just elated just to know you've got this book and it's in your hand and that your name is on it. And so that is a great accomplishment. Know that you have a nonprofit organization that you set out to do. And I mean, some of these things are really feats that people might back down to, and you didn't let that stop you. There's a lady I might want to connect you with, or that you might want to connect with. She actually helps in nonprofits as well. And so, not saying that you don't have what you need, but hey, there's connections, and she works with minority nonprofits. And
Okay.
so, I believe that when God intervenes or brings you to a certain place, it's for a reason. And so I was connected to this lady not too long ago, and I actually interviewed her. And she started the first national nonprofit organization for minorities. And so she is doing really great work, and she can give you more resources and help you with different things. So I want to get you that information later, just in case you need just another resource or another nugget in your back pocket, someone else that you can reach out to, because we have to help each other out. We have to support each other. We have to lend resources. And so
Right.
I'm just grateful for this time to be able to have you on the show, to talk about your successes, to talk about how you overcame and what got you through. But the main thing I know that you continue to tell me is prayer. And prayer works, people. Prayer changes things. It does.
Tell
And I
them.
mean, with COVID going on and everything in the world right now, there's so much that we have to be thankful for. And I look at it because I believe God is my father and he will give me anything and everything that I ask for. And so I'm like,
Yes.
God, I need some more time with my family. My girls is growing up, they getting older. I need time with my husband. We getting older. What's going on, God? We just need some peace. And he shut the world down. Now I ain't that he went on ahead and gave us this COVID. I ain't saying all of that, but what I am saying is sometimes when God needs to get our attention, he will do something to make us sit down and to make us relax and wait. And so with that, I feel like families are being strengthened because now my whole family's at home. We homeschool. My husband, he got sick and he's not able to work anymore, but he's not even sick. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Something happened. He had to
Right.
have open heart surgery where he's not able to go back and do that job anymore, but we're in ministry. So we're ministers now. And now he's able to fully engage in ministry. He's now able to walk in his call the way he's supposed to. And I'm like, thank you, God. If it wasn't for COVID, none of this may never happen. So, whatever happens in our
Right.
life is for a purpose. And so back then, back before the divorce, back before the children, back before the book, where you may have looked at yourself and been like, how am I going to get there? But it doesn't matter because you're here, right? You've arrived at that
Right.
place. Now you got something even greater about to come and take place. So that right there, I think, gives people hope in knowing that, hey, I knew Jessica or I know Jessica. Because if you knew Jessica, it's better to know her now than when you knew her, because now that you know Jessica, you see where she's come from. Because sometimes people will try to keep you where you were. They won't let you move
Oh
forward. They
yes.
try to hold you to your past. They try to hold you to what you used to be.
Yes.
You know, and a lot of people say, "Oh, I can't believe you don't have problems," because I can tell you right now, Jessica, you're very articulate, you're a very strong woman, you're very strong-willed. People will look at you and say, "Oh, girl, you ain't been through nothing," but they don't know your story. And that's why we have to tell our stories, because there are so many Jessicas out there. There's so many Tanikas out there, but sometimes we think we're the only one. And so God gives his biggest task to his strongest warriors, right? So I would say that you are a warrior for Christ, because what has happened in your life and how you've blossomed from it is just a true testament of what God can do if you have him as your foundation. So I thank you for being transparent. I thank you for opening up and being vulnerable, because sometimes people won't, because it said in our weakness he is made perfect. And so he is so perfected right now by getting the glory from looking at your smiling beautiful face. And so that is just such a blessing, and it just makes my heart just so great, because I'm like, thank you, God, because there are people out there that can make a difference. There are people out there that want to make a difference. And so
Right.
thank you for being one of those people. Thank you for allowing God to use you. Thank you for walking in your call. And this is a mission you're doing. And that's a beautiful, beautiful ministry. And so I hope God continues to bless you. And I hope you continue to just have doors open for you. And that way you can help to open doors for others, because that's what we need to do for our people. Because ain't
Right.
nobody going to, right? They'll shut the door on you.
Right.
They'll kick you out. But nobody's going to say, come on in here. So, just remember that. One day when you find that Jessica that is somewhere and is like, oh, I just don't know, pray for that girl. Pray for her, support her, uplift her, pour into her. Because one day she'll be able to do that for somebody else. And then if we continue that cycle, we can make it a beautiful place. So thank you. Before we get off of here, I want you to take this time and whatever it is that you would like to tell the people, whatever you want them to know more about you that they don't know already. This is your time to just open up, tell them what you want to know, where to find your book, how to get in touch with you, whatever resources that somebody can send you, because I know there's people that probably want to pour into you and help you with your
Right.
mission. So give them that information so they can get in touch with you.
Well, I have micahspeakskidcamp.org. That is the official website for Micah Speaks Kid Camp. You can also reach out to me on micahspeakskidcamp@gmail.com as well. I check my email all throughout the day, so if you send me something, I'll see it. Also, to get the book, it's on Amazon.com. You can look me up. You can look it up by my name, Jessica Ballard, or you can look it up by the title, Passport to 30 Days of Faith, Love, and Romance. Um, and that's about it. We have a GoFundMe account. It's under Micah Speaks Kid Camp as well for those that do want to donate. And yeah, just reach out to me via email or through my micahspeakskidcamp.org website. And I'll be with you. And also reach out to me on LinkedIn. My name is Jessica Ballard on LinkedIn as well. My professional profile and everything is there.
Okay. All right. Well, you heard that today, everybody. Go out, get the book, learn about the Passport to Faith, Romance. Tell me again, faith,
Faith,
prayer, and
love,
romance.
and romance.
Faith, love, and romance. Passport to Faith, Love, and Romance. And read that book and study it and hone in on your relationships and know whatever is in you is for you and you can do great things. Thank you, Jessica, for coming on today. Thank you, everybody that viewed in today. If anyone had any questions or comments, Charlene said, beautiful, Jessica, and your mom said that you had a beautiful testimony and you give of your family. So I can tell you are a very, very giving person and your heart is just very strong. So thank you for that. Support Jessica. Go and donate to her GoFundMe for Micah Kid Speaks. Go and read her book. Go follow her on LinkedIn and Instagram and social media. Send her a shout out. Let her know that she is a Black woman in business, a single mother that's working hard to make a difference in her life and the life of others, especially her children. She has a strong foundation and background, and that she wants to do better in this world. We need more Jessicas in this world. If you someone you know is a Jessica and has a great story and is an overcomer or has a business or a resource or a book or anything that they'd like to share, a testimony, if they just want to come on and talk about the love of God, let them know to come to yourfullmindlife.com, submit a contact, and that way we can get you on here and you can be interviewed and the world can know your story. Because this platform is made for people who have a story to tell and maybe they just don't know where to start. And so I thank you for joining us today, for listening to Jessica's story, because you never know where you might see her next. And I'm just looking for all the great things that are about to come in your life. God bless you and your family, and God bless your ministry and everything you to do. And so thank you everybody for joining in. And until next time, remember, as always, you were created with a purpose. God bless.
Bye.
Stay with me.